What's up, you guys? If you've been following my channel, you may have seen one of my videos that was entitled 5 Things That Nobody Tells You About Moving to Northern Nevada. But on today's video, I'm going to give you a 2024 update because it's been a while since I've talked about this topic. Make sure you're paying attention and make sure you stay till the end, because if you do, I'm going to give you a bonus number 6. Coming in at number 1 is that we literally might very well have 4 seasons in one day. And if you are not somebody who's prepared for the weather changing super fast and without notice, you may not be comfortable living here. We are in a high desert climate, which means that we have extreme temperatures, and I'm not just talking about during specific seasons. Literally all in one day, it could be snowing and then it could be sweltering. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you are aware of that. And if you do decide to move here, that you are prepared with lots of layers, and maybe you have some extra garments and things that will help keep you warm or cool, or even have a bathing suit, whatever you might wanna carry in tow. Throw that in your car so that you're always prepared. The second thing is that a lot of people assume that Northern Nevada is basically like a mini Las Vegas, right? A lot of people think that Reno specifically is just like a boring version of Vegas. That couldn't be further from the truth. We do have casinos here, and in fact, we have a lot of fun things to do at the casinos. There's great entertainment, there's some really good restaurants. The spas are really my go-to when I need a break. However, outside of the gaming industry and the commercial entertainment industry, we have so much outdoor recreation here. It's not even funny. We have Lake Tahoe right in our backyard, which is obviously a giant alpine lake. So in the summer, that lends itself to swimming, boating, all kinds of things that you can do on a lake. In addition to that, it's surrounded by mountains. So then you get all of that too. You get skiing and snow sports. And then obviously in the summer, you can go mountain biking, hiking, all the fun things that you can do in the woods in the summer. Number 3 is about the cost of living here. So it's not really a secret that Nevada has no state income tax, and I think that might have been one of the numbers that I hit on my last video on this topic, and that is a huge benefit. However, that lack of income tax by the state is, I wouldn't say made up for, but in part made up for by higher property taxes and higher price points. Over the past 5 years, the cost of living in Reno has increased. It's still relatively inexpensive compared to other similar cities with like similar demographics, similar size. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the cost of health insurance in the state of Nevada is a lot higher than it is in many, many other states. If you didn't know this about me, I actually work with a lot of relocating buyers, probably because they're finding me here on the old YouTubes. And then I actually have the privilege of being their realtor, but I've had more than a few who were moving here from out of state realize that the cost of health insurance here is much, much higher than the state that they were moving here from. So that's something that you're gonna wanna be aware of and definitely look into as far as the whole picture of what it's gonna cost to move or relocate here. Another thing that you're gonna wanna know about moving to Reno, in that a lot of people don't necessarily come right out and tell you, is that we are at high altitude here. We are at about 4,500 feet above sea level, which can make it a little bit challenging for physical activities. And if you're new to living at altitude, it might be a lot easier for you to become dehydrated. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're always bringing your water with you and that you're being really mindful of the change in climate, because if it's your first time at altitude, you're really gonna feel it. And the last one, although I will give you a bonus one if you stay till the end, but the last thing you need to know that people aren't necessarily letting you know up front if you're moving from out of state is that the tech industry here is in a complete boom cycle. We've got Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft. There's so many big industry, big names moving in here and creating these massive tech hubs. And that's really good because the city is developing and having to kind of cater to these higher end buyers and people with more income, which means more amenities, more restaurants, more boutiques, more entertainment. There's just more stuff to do here than there ever has been. But with that, it is driving up the cost of living and specifically the cost of real estate. You've been so patient, so I'm gonna give you my bonus thing that a lot of people don't tell you about moving to Northern Nevada. And that is that the housing market here is actually really competitive. It's become more and more competitive in the last 5 to 6 years. If you are planning to move here, even when the market is somewhat stagnant, like it has been for the past year off and on, just because of the mortgage interest rates, or if you're trying to buy during a holiday or whatever, you still need to be prepared for a fair amount of competition in this market. It's a very desirable place to live. There is a lot of big industry moving in here. I've already mentioned tech, but healthcare is another big one. So you're up against a lot of successful people who are potentially shopping in similar or the same price range as you are. So I would advise you to have a very strategic plan in place. I, along with my lending partners, can help you do that. And you don't want to be thinking about putting that plan in place like a month before you want to move. You really want to do that probably within a year in advance. So if that's something you want to talk more about, again, book that call with me. There's a free link to do that in the description box below. I'd love to hop on a call and just kind of hear your story and understand what your needs are so I can give you advice on your next and best steps. If you have any other questions about life in Nevada or specifically in Reno or Sparks, just let me know. You can leave a comment below and I do answer every single comment. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week about all things related to the Northern Nevada housing market, the Reno Sparks lifestyle, and of course, all things related to buying and selling real estate. It also helps me to know what kinds of content that you are enjoying and that are useful to you so that I can continue to make content similar. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on next week's video.